morning, everyone, and welcome to our
Morning.
our new show. Good morning, Maria. Welcome to our new show, Mornings with Cynthia and Maria. Ta-da!
I have to still go and vote.
Here too, we vote in
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
We don't do mail-in. We don't do write-in. We will vote on voting day.
Listen,
And
my father's not well, as you know, and he has to vote absentee because whether he was here or where he resides. So I think for certain individuals, it's important to keep that so that they do, if they cannot have access to going in person, that they have that right.
absolutely.
We'll keep politics for another day, but the people who aren't citizens really shouldn't be able to do it either way.
Exactly. The military, they vote when they're out in the field overseas. They do absentee voting. So yeah, absolutely.
You have to have it for certain individuals, but there should be a criteria that's followed. If you are handicapped, obviously should be allowed.
Yeah.
Military should be allowed. Hospitalized should be allowed. Things like that. It should be a certain criteria, not if you jumped over the walls of America illegally or had a visa and extended that visa on your own without letting anybody know. Those people, sorry, should not be allowed. You're not here legally if you have a visa and you just decide to stay. That's not legal.
Right, because you're already breaking the law.
You're already breaking the law.
You've already got your first felony because that is a felony.
Well, not according to some people, it's not a felony, and some people would like them to vote just so that they can get more votes. They'll make them promises, but people have to remember, when you haven't done anything in office for 4 years, that you've had time to do it, to create those promises, and being a vice president, you still have a lot of pull. You have, you have the most pull, right? Over certain things, and you can push for that. That's, so being the vice president isn't just standing in the background. You're supposed to be working for the people.
Absolutely.
So at that point, if you haven't done anything for 4 years, why should anybody believe that you're going to do something? When you had the president prior, you had somebody who brought in jobs in the economy before he was even president, never took a salary as president, so the American people got to keep that. Did not build the cages. The Obama administration built those cages that held the immigrants or the illegal immigrants. Okay. And so everybody blamed him, but it wasn't him. It was the Obama administration.
Exactly.
You have somebody who just lied about a sitting president, saying that he was completely in his mind, completely did so much for this country, when we know for the last couple of years he's been declining. And therefore, if you are declining in age, and I'm not going to put a person who's declining down, I'm just not going to do it. Whether I liked him before or not, I'm keeping that aside. If somebody is declining in age, and we know that we have parents and stuff like that, you cannot hold them accountable for their actions. At that point, a vice president, other people who are sitting in the Senate and the House should have made some changes that they clearly did not make. And when you are allowing illegal citizens to vote, you are in fear that you are not good enough to get the job done without them.
You had a what would you call that when you say something and it's a double, or like a conundrum, maybe, when you say illegal citizens?
Oh, right. No, immigrants that have extended their visas or
what do they
have
call
not.
them now? They call them there's something else they call them, but I don't want to call them anything other than what they are. And so between the two of us, we've been watching YouTube off and on for several years now, and picking up on what YouTube allows, because they're censoring everybody, and they've got their little algorithms all set up for certain words
Mm.
that cue on certain words, and then so we're being more careful than we were the first go around. So, but I think it's unfortunate that we have to do that in a country that has free speech, a Second Amendment,
Yeah.
and so it's really unfortunate. Uh, but
One of the presidents prior, because God forbid we're taken down for saying a name. One of the presidents prior had said that he's on Truth Now.
yes, Truth Social.
And that's something that I think that I want to connect with. And here's the thing. I've seen other videos that have said his name, Trump. Okay.
Oh yeah, we can
It's
say
not,
his name.
yeah.
They're not going to take us down for saying his name.
There's Harris, Trump, and Biden.
Yeah.
Two of those people have sat for 4 years now, and
Well, that's the whole
they
thing.
haven't if they haven't done the things that she's saying that she will do forward, she's not going to do them. She's going to promise them. She
Yeah.
might even initiate one or two of them at the beginning just to keep save face.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, she hasn't done anything
Yeah.
for
Well, there
African
was
Americans or
I'll look for them, and we
yeah,
can and show them. Well, actually, there's a record of both of them in their debates when they were running for office
right.
4 years ago, where they talked about uh, they, to appease the people, they decided that they were. Marie's fixing her bra straps.
Sorry.
Ah,
Listen,
she'll see that on the
these
video.
issues are real, okay?
Yes, yes.
So I'm sorry.
Can't let boobs hang,
Come on,
Uh,
man. Somebody's got to hold them up. Go ahead.
so there's videos that show that in one of their things, they were asked about fracking. They were asked about uh, uh, oil. And so what they both said was, no, we're not going to ban fracking, and no, we're not going to ban drilling for oil. No, that's all going to be good. We're not going to make everybody get EVs, electric cars. And so what happened the very first day they got into office? They executive order after executive order after executive order. They opened the border. The first thing he did was he shut down the pipeline, which one of the bigger pipelines was up here in northern Minnesota. And that on that day, over 11,000 people lost their jobs in one day. Now, there was an interesting thing. There's a video of the vice president, current vice president, when she was a district attorney in California. And she was talking about, with the swipe of her pen, she could take and change a person's entire life with the swipe of a pen. And she did that. There's a video of a woman who talks about that, who said, oh yeah, that's what she did. She made it a law in California that if your child doesn't show up for school, that you, the parent, will be arrested and put in jail. So if your child is truant, the parent goes to jail. And this woman, many children who have disabilities were not able to go to school. So they were homeschooled. And this woman was arrested while her daughter was in the hospital, handicapped. She's disabled. And this woman lost her job. She, because she couldn't pay her bills, she lost her home. So she became homeless. And she had to live in a hotel until she could find new work.
Right.
In a a really crappy hotel. So these are people who want to have control. So I can't go beyond that.
And I just explained something to people because, like, I know that me and you, and believe me, this woman knows so much more than I will probably ever know. She's very well read and informed on everyday politics. I have some things going on in my life that I've slipped a little on it, but I want to inform people of fracking because I don't think, and I'll play a little devil's advocate and see if we can get like to somewhat of the truth in this, because fracking is the process of, it's like a high pressure drilling into the ground, right? And it's like a high pressure of, I don't know if it's air or fluid. The whole reason for fracking is to get the pathways open for the gas and the oil to go into,
For the gas,
down
yeah,
there
the
or
natural
whatever.
gas. Yep.
The natural gas.
Yep.
And so they do it at such a high pressure. Some of the things that like are the arguments against it are that, and I want to like truth fact some of this or look up to see, because people should be informed. And you know what?
Yep.
Even though I feel I'm very much more of a conservative, I'm very open-minded to the truth, and if that doesn't fit my party, you're not going to believe everything your party says or always agree with them. You're looking at the majority. You're looking at like the 80-20 rule. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. And that's with anything. Okay.
Yep.
So they're saying that this is why it's criticized. They're saying water contamination. And again, I'm not sure if I believe that it's water contamination, because it's not like they're just putting it into the land, like all this oil is running free. It is contained. So where they're putting the pressure, it's a containment under the earth or wherever they have that containment, it's contained. And so it's not being distributed in your personal land. Okay. It's contained to some degree. Am I right, Cynthia?
Well, I'd have to do some more research, but I do recall a movie with Matt Damon. Matt Damon is the star of the movie, main character. He goes to this small town. Excuse me.
No, it's okay.
Where they have done fracking.
Right.
And so he goes there to, like, he works for the company who's doing the fracking. And so he's given a lot of eye-opener information in this movie. But it is just a movie. And when governments, not just our government, but when any government is seeking control of its people and everything in it, they will do things like this to misrepresent, to misinform. God loves everybody. God of your, the God of your choice, whatever that God may be.
Here it is.
It's a higher power greater than ourselves.
But here it is. There is only one thing that made us all. And we tend to look at that one supernatural thing and we name it, whether it is something that the Muslims name, the Christians name, or the Hebrews name. We give that source a name. Okay.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, whatever created us black, white, um, you know, Asian, Africans,
Yep,
they created us all, Indians, Spanish, Hispanics.
yep,
There's nothing that nobody's better than the other
no,
because God doesn't love one of us more than they do the other.
right.
And, if you want to go around and believe God loves your people more than everybody else, you're doing a disservice because he
Mhm,
made us all. Okay. He created us all for a reason. We've poisoned the earth. That's why we get cancers. That's why we've lost children. I lost a child. Okay. Um, well, I didn't lose, I was pregnant when I lost a child, but that's besides the point. The pain was still there. I was
mhm,
attached to the child. I was 5 months pregnant.
mhm,
You know, um, I never blamed God. I never said, why does God do this to me?
mhm, mhm,
Never, ever.
mhm.
I just have to tell them I'm on a Zoom call.
'Kay.
Um, uh, I never blamed him. And so
Mhm,
the thing is that we all have to kind of like live together.
mhm,
And I don't think one party is better than the other. I think that there are good people on the Republican side and good people on the Democratic side. And then I think that there are the hysteric people who are dramatic and
yeah,
want to create problems. I actually gave up a friendship that I had since college. And I did this, and it was much healthier for me to do it.
mhm,
Over time, I've explained, please don't use those terms. They kept using them. It was not, I did not give up that friendship because I was in a cult. I did
mhm,
not give up that friendship because I was um, a hysterical Christian. I because believe me, I don't really, even my children can choose their own path in life.
mhm,
Okay. I love, my God and, Jesus. And I'm not going to pretend I don't because I do. And that's
mhm,
what I follow. Nor do I tell Cynthia or anybody else to follow the ways I think. But what's happened here is I've never seen the hate that on the Democratic side that they have for one man that they beloved at one time. And he did nothing. To the comparisons to major dictators who took out huge populations of people
mhm.
is so um,
Egregious.
irrational that that's more of a cult like thinking.
Mhm,
I don't hate Biden. I
mhm,
don't hate Harris.
mhm,
I don't wish any harm to them or their
mhm,
families.
mhm,
Okay. That is a normal way of thinking. I don't like their politics or their policies or the way that they are scripted in saying one thing and doing another.
mhm,
For me, that's what bothers me. But I do not call my Democratic friends and say, you're in a cult. You don't know what you're saying. You don't know how to speak. You don't know. You're not your own person. I do believe that they have a brain. I just believe they choose to think differently than me.
Well,
I
I
may
don't know, that's
disagree.
kinda questionable with,
Well,
Harris.
listen. I choose to think that they think differently than me. Um,
Well, that's
and
obvious.
that's okay, but that's where healthy arguments come in.
Right.
Name calling, the hatred on either side does not cause us to come together. Calling people names does not cause us to come together.
Mhm, mhm,
Having good arguments and being able to speak to each other about those arguments
mhm,
does. However, I have found, and it might just be my personal experience, that with my Democratic friends,
mhm,
that they have been extremely harsh in their speaking to me, and that's when I go block.
mhm,
Because I'm not going to have you tell me because I believe in Jesus I'm in a cult, nor am I going to have you tell me that I'm in a cult because I believe that Trump brought in jobs. The economy was the strongest under him ever.
mhm,
Never
mhm.
had a war under him, but
Yep.
under Biden, the economy went down. Under Biden and Harris, we had wars. They did not know how to talk to dictators. So, how do you expect her to talk to dictators now? Her whole theory is President Trump, or the ex-president, whatever she calls him, but he was president at one time. President Trump is friends with these dictators. That is so far-fetched from the truth.
Mhm.
President Trump is smart. You
Mhm.
keep your enemies close. If you
Mhm.
don't know what they're thinking and you're not able to have conversations with them, well, guess what? They're going to surprise you. Just like
Mhm.
they're surprising the Middle East right now.
Yeah.
What is going on over there is atrocious. And whoever's side you agree with, October 7th should have never, ever happened. And they needed to react to that.
Mhm.
Whether you agree whether they went overboard on that, and this is why this is happening, that's another story. I don't know. I go back and forth with it. It is so upsetting to me that the Jewish people have to go through this. It is also so upsetting to me to see the people in Gaza be flattened out the way they have,
Mhm.
and the
Mhm.
children. So
Mhm.
you have to look at it as a human thing, and you have to say you hope that the innocent on both sides are
Mhm.
okay,
Mhm.
and you hope that there can be some resolution and they can direct those targets to the bad guys. But unfortunately, a more that is a simplistic way of thinking, because that's not reality. And when you go after the bad guys, there are good people who are going to suffer for that.
Mhm.
And that is just the way it is. There's always going to be good people in the way, civilians who are going to get hurt. And it's unfortunate and it's sad on both sides. I
Mhm.
don't want to see a Gazan baby suffer, and I don't want to see a Jewish baby suffer.
Yeah.
Okay, they're children. They
Yeah.
shouldn't have to suffer. And it's only creating, this whole war is creating a lot of animosity on both sides with these children growing up to hate each other.
Mhm.
And you're just creating more future wars.
Mhm.
There has to be a diplomatic way of coming together and getting these countries to realize, wake up in the morning, go to work, take care of your children, live where you will, and let's just, you know,
Yeah.
believe what we want, but this has to stop.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, Cynthia and I don't have hatred for the other side. We may dislike and hate what they say, but that's not a personal attack to say we want harm on them. Absolutely not.
Mhm.
Nor should somebody say, if they don't like Trump, we hate him on a personal note where we want harm to him. When there were certain events that just recently happened to him 3 times, I've
Mhm.
heard people say, why didn't they, why did they miss? Which is so, it's evil. It's an
Mhm.
evil thing to say. It is
Mhm.
not something I ever had a discussion personally with Cynthia where she would say, I hope this happens to Biden or Harris. No, we don't even think like that.
Mhm.
And that is when the people who scream out cult need to look and see the mirroring effect of their words on themselves. Because when you look at yourself in the mirror and you listen to the words you're saying, to want harm on a person who has done nothing to hurt others. And again, January 6th should have never happened, but January 6th also had a lot of Black Lives Matter who were faking being Trump supporters. They had others who were faking being Trump supporters, going in there and causing havoc. I'm
Mhm.
not saying that some of the Trump supporters might not have gotten out of hand, but
Mhm.
the proof is, and I put this up on my Facebook, I'm going to try to find the video on my Facebook and send it to Cynthia so she can link it.
Mhm.
There was a reporter who questioned Trump and asked him about all of those events. And he was trying to get him. I
Yeah.
believe he was trying to find Trump to admit some guilt there.
Right. Right.
And he said, I asked for peace. It was a couple of days before. I asked for them to stop, and Twitter took them down.
Mhm.
He
Mhm.
was taken down. His voice was taken down when he
Yeah.
was telling these people to stop.
Yeah.
So because you don't see it, doesn't
Mhm.
mean it didn't happen. Just
Right.
because you don't see it, if I'm Twitter or I'm Facebook or I have Maria's webpage where I have followers
Mhm.
and I have an agenda and I have access to remove or add things on my webpage that I want, especially if I have the money that these platforms have, I will do
Mhm.
it. and so
Mhm.
do they.
Mhm.
If the heads of any platform believe strongly one way, do not feel that they will not manipulate the system to show one side. Polls are not actual polls. Oh, she's up in
Mhm.
the polls, he's down in the polls. No, they take a certain group of people, which is not a majority of people, and they do this poll and they say 1 out of 10 or whatever. Well, if you're getting 9 Democrats or you're getting 9 Republicans, those polls are going to show you a different outcome.
Mhm. Mhm.
And this is just not something that anybody with a brain needs. You need a half a brain to get that.
Mhm.
You don't even need to understand politics to
Yeah.
understand that if you have 9 apples and 1 orange, the apples are the majority. If you have
Mhm.
9 oranges and 1 apple, the oranges are the majority. If you have a Democratic station or a Republican station going after a certain agenda, they will prove that agenda. Okay. And that goes on both sides.
Mhm.
So you have to kind of, as somebody who is scoping this, and, take pride in your brain and not your breasts. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
I, Facebook is getting out of hand. Not your boobs, not your breasts, not your ass.
Mhm.
Don't take pride in that. That's nothing. What's here is everything.
Mhm.
Who you are up here is everything.
Mhm.
Nothing else matters. Take care of yourself, do it for yourself, but that doesn't matter. You have to take pride in why you believe in something.
Mhm.
I want a woman president in. Yes, I do. And I'll say it, and I've said it on my Facebook. I've said it, said it, said it. I would love a woman president in.
Mhm.
I don't want the wrong one in.
Yeah.
Okay. When you have somebody who is a woman, and you see these young people, we want this president in because she's a woman and she's going to make a difference. You have to look, can she hold on one second. I'm going to say something. Peter, lower your voice. Pete, go inside. Thank you. Sometimes the mommy has to come out of me. Again, we're doing this from home, so things will happen.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You have to want the right one in. Is she probably not evil? She's probably not evil. Totally. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. She's probably not the evilest person. Does she want to be president? Yes. But look at what she can do. These dictators, they don't respect her.
Mhm.
They're waiting for her to come in.
Mhm.
She goes on whenever she is on any interview without an earpiece or a teleprompter. She can't answer questions, not even to the people who are supporting her, like Oprah and Obama and all of that. She only can do what she is told.
Yeah.
She only can read what she is told. Look at the many, many interviews between both Trump and her,
Mhm.
and watch the difference in the eye contact.
Mhm.
How many times does Trump lower his eyes to read something? Rarely, probably almost never. He might have a note in front of him and wanted to see a word, but the majority of the time he's looking directly at you.
Mhm.
She's not able to focus without a teleprompter. And when the teleprompter on one of the interviews went off, we can find these videos. You can find these videos. You could say
That
teleprompter,
was
Kamala, yeah, whatever. This president, this vice president, teleprompter dysfunction, and all of a sudden she got all frazzled. Okay.
wow.
She had to repeat words over and over again because she could not read what the next statement was that she
Yeah.
wanted.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what she did. 32 days. Yeah. Yeah. As soon as the prompter went down, it was all about
32 days. Can you believe it?
32
We have
days.
32 days.
And then it was
And
like,
it was
yep,
over and
yep,
over and over again.
32 days. Yep. We got some work to do. And
Here's the thing also. I don't care if she's black. I don't even care
but
if she
she's
thinks
not
she's
black.
Greek. No, listen, I don't care. I
Yeah.
don't care what you want to identify.
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't bother me. What bothers me is though that she switches to her audience. That
Mhm,
bothers
mhm.
me.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
it
It's
bothers
about
me.
speaking, the way you speak normally, not going to a southern state and all of a sudden you're trying to speak in a southern draw,
Yeah,
and or going to um uh, a black community and trying to speak as a black woman, which, you know, s- tell
by the
people who you
way,
are.
do you
Ah,
recognize
yeah, I
this?
do.
Okay, so Cynthia and I started years ago, probably 2019, doing videos.
Something I'll have to look at that. Yeah, something
It's
like
about
that.
2019, approximately about then.
Mhm.
And these were our first cups.
Yep.
And this
Yep.
was actually my dining room table that
Mhm.
I had set up. And it was just a lovely picture. And
Excuse me.
these were our first cups that we
Yep.
did.
At home with Cynthia
Cynthia
Maria.
Maria. And this is going to be Sundays with Cynthia and Maria.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's slightly different. It's going to be a lot more lax.
Yep.
It's not
So
going to be us.
I'm just gonna plug this in. Jim just told me now Trump is speaking at having a rally at
Okay.
Madison Square Garden today,
Okay.
and people are lining up by the thousands right now in this moment,
And I hope they have really
lining up.
good security.
So, well, yeah, I believe they
Fine.
will, because here's the other upside about that is that the mayor of New York City came on, did a video last night or yesterday sometime. I'll post that link as well. Mayor Adams.
Yeah.
But I really liked that he finally came out and did something and spoke about something that was positive, instead of always, when he became mayor, before he became mayor, he was telling people, because he was a police officer. And before, when he was running for mayor of New York City, he talked about all the great things he was going to do. Then he became mayor and he didn't do any of those great things he spoke about. So
Right.
now he's recognizing that they are uh um what do you call it, a city, it's a sanctuary city. Okay.
Okay.
So now he's got all these thousands upon thousands upon thousands of illegals there, whom they've given upwards towards $2 billion in funds to: free housing, free food, free everything, free everything. Now they've got gangs in New York that are taking over. They're recruiting younger immigrants
Yeah.
who are there. They're taking over, they're just, it's really, really bad. It's so dangerous in New York City right now. So it really was amazing to listen to Mayor Adams speak to this rally going on in Madison Square Garden today. Hillary Clinton went on a show and she's talked about this thing about Trump is Hitler, and he's going to do this and he's going to do that and he's going to do all these horrible, horrible things because he's just like Hitler, right? And actually, she was the one who years ago, back in 2015, was making statements, the same statements that Hitler made. She was making word
So
for
we can
word
put those,
statements.
can we
So
put those videos up?
yeah, I'll look for him.
The
I'll look we
links?
can look for him. Yeah, because I want to also post the one where Biden said, "I don't care if you think I'm Satan himself," and I
Right.
and I have that one saved as well. So,
And here's the thing about Hillary Clinton. People should also look up her foundation and the
hmm
corrupt, in my
yeah,
opinion, this is my opinion, do your own homework.
yep,
I'm, anything that Cynthia and I say, please look up for
yeah,
yourself.
yeah,
As many links as she can put up, she will. But Hillary Clinton was the one, her husband had sex. They went after Trump for this woman who,
Yeah.
by the way, denied the affair for many,
Mm-hmm.
many years.
Mm-hmm.
She denied it. When is
Yep.
she a liar? Is she a liar now? Was she a liar then?
Yeah.
She denied the affair, in my opinion. Look it up. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
I say in my opinion for the legal thing that people are freaking nuts. In my opinion, if I've missed something and I'm wrong, apologies. But for now, if I'm not wrong, I'm just saying.
I want to stay focused
Yeah.
on what's
But these
happening
two
today.
have lied. That was my point.
Yeah.
Clinton has lied during her husband's presidency
Mm-hmm.
to the time she talks about her foundation. And
Mm-hmm.
that all can be checked. It's my opinion. If I'm
Right.
wrong, I apologize. The other one has lied. Harris has
Oh,
lied
straight
about
up
a
lied.
declining president. And that affected our military. That probably,
Yeah.
because of all that confusion, affected some of the wars that are going on.
Yeah.
And her inability to do what's right for the American people.
Yeah.
My opinion. Again, legally, I'm saying it. I'm sorry. I'm going to protect
Well,
my.
the we all know that she lies. That's a fact.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they go after Trump.
Oh yeah.
Liar, liar,
Yeah.
liar, liar, liar.
Yeah. But see,
Look
everything,
in the mirror.
yeah, everything that they talk about Trump doing is everything that they are
That they
literally
do.
doing and have done.
But isn't it true that the people who usually judge and make up stories and say outlandish stories, and this was a witch hunt. I know what a witch hunt is
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
had one put against me. Okay. A witch hunt is a very dangerous thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say, no matter what God you believe in, whatever created us knows everything about us. So they see
Yep.
the pie, not the slice of lies that you can
Mm-hmm.
tell a judge, that you can tell
Right.
anybody with the right technology can
Mm-hmm.
create lies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
With power and money can come lies. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to, if you really believe in something higher power, going to church and doing your cross and lighting a candle or temple or mosque or wherever you go is not helping you, because whatever is up there, whoever, however you name him or her or whatever
Yeah.
you believe, whatever is there created us and sees who you are. So
Mm-hmm.
be very careful. And when you call somebody a liar, make sure
Mm-hmm.
that you got your facts.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And make sure those facts aren't created, but are actual.
Right.
And that's what bothers me about Harris.
Mm-hmm.
She can't
Mm-hmm.
speak on her own, and
Yeah.
she lies, and she's a finger pointer.
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton lies, and she's a finger pointer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And all these Democrats who believe that Republicans are in a cult.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Republicans don't go around burning down buildings.
Right. Right.
They don't go around burning down buildings that people have
Mm-hmm.
created a lifetime of trying to build that for their families.
Right.
They don't go around and have dangerous marches or they don't. They might be strong in their opinions,
Mm-hmm.
but it is much dangerous when we have to get extra security because a Republican president gets in.
Yeah.
That we have to be afraid of people on the streets killing each other because a
Mm-hmm.
Republican president gets in.
Yeah.
I can assure you, everybody who said they were going to leave when President Trump got in did not leave.
No. No.
Okay. They incited and created hate between the races. They incited and created havoc in the communities, but they
Mm-hmm.
did not leave America. I
Yeah.
can assure you, I'm never leaving, even if Harris is here. I may not like it. And I can assure you that the Republicans aren't going to go out and create riots where they're going to hurt people if she gets in. They will have discussions how they think this is going to take down the country economically. They will have discussions on how it's going to take us down in terms of race relations. And they might have these discussions, but they will not go after
It's
and
not going to
hurt somebody.
be, it's either way. It's not going to be good. Whichever one wins, it's just going to be ugly. So today in Madison Square Garden, Hillary Clinton has spread her hate and telling everybody that he's going to celebrate Hitler, and it's going to be just like the rally of 1939, and where Nazis were rioting, protesting, and that's what it's going to be like.
Here's the
So
thing,
far, I've never.
why isn't Facebook or Twitter taking her down?
Well, it's X now, so we gotta be
Okay,
mindful of that
X.
X.
Okay, X.
Uh,
Why isn't she being taken down?
because if I understand Musk clearly, his intention is to allow people to speak freely, because the people who know the truth
Yeah.
will recognize the people who are not being
My
truthful.
husband.
So, but yeah, uh, you know, we are uh we're just praying. You know, God had to bring us back to Babylon so people could open their eyes to what's happening. I
Yeah.
don't believe that people in this country want to live under the rule of government in a communist society, in a socialist society, in a dictator society. It will be so unbelievable. There's no words for what will happen, what will take place. You know, you've got this woman who, if she were more educated and she were able to hold herself up and not, you know, just be prepared, or, you know, to want to be sincere about the crap that's coming out of her mouth, it would be a real different thing. I too agree. I don't care who gets in the presidency. What I care about is who they are. What I care about is what they can do for us, the American citizens, because we're the one paying their bill. We're the one paying their salaries. So if we're the ones paying their salaries, how is it that so many of them are multimillionaires? How are they becoming multimillionaires? You know, so because they have a fixed salary that is paid by the people of this country, by the citizens of this country. So there are reasons why there's a government, but they want to expand government in all ways. So, yeah, I'm going to. I also want to give a shout out to, let's see, Professor Naz.
Yeah. These are some statements Hillary Clinton made. I want to share them with you. And on the onset, it sounds like she's just making, you know, some comments about how she feels, of how unhinged, she calls him unhinged and incoherent and other things that wait a second, that both Harris and all of the Democratic Party, Pelosi's, everything, hid the, and I'm not making fun of an older man, but unhinged is when you cannot make coherent thoughts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Proper thoughts, to, especially when you're running a country or running anything, running our military, giving military their, you know, what they need to do. You're giving them orders. And in order to give our military orders, they need to be strategic. You need to understand our enemy. You need to understand our the landscape of not only your country, of other countries geographically. You have to understand all these things, right? So if you're not well scoped on them, it's hard to give our military the correct orders, right? To do the right thing. You don't want to incite more war. What you want to do when you go into war is to bring as minimal damage as possible. You want to go in, find your target, take care of your target, but with the most minimal. And what you don't want to do is incite more war after that, retaliations, right? You want to go in, you want to get your target, and then you want to keep things calm. You want to bring everybody to the table so it stops. Okay, that she doesn't have the ability to do this, but these are the words that Hillary Clinton has used against Trump. So hold on, let me get them, because now, hold on. Donald Trump's ideas aren't just different, they're dangerously incoherent. Now, I have not heard Donald Trump once, and if somebody has heard him say something so dangerous, I've never heard him say, I'm gonna just take them all out. No, he gives an argument of what is going on. He gives you, if you ever hear him speak, he might not be speaking as scripted, as like a scripted liar. Okay, there are some politicians, probably on both ends, mostly on, I think, certain people's ends, where they're scripted liars. They speak really well and people love the way that they dress and the way they hold themselves and the way that they speak. And that's all beautiful. I'm not sleeping with them. Okay, so I want to know somebody who's telling the truth and so somebody who can get the job done. And sometimes he can be a little more blunt on the surface.
Yeah.
But this is what she says. So when she says dangerously incoherent, then she says, they're not even really ideas. Now, I've heard Biden speak as president and Harris allowing him to speak as president and not understanding the purpose in his statements or understanding the thought process of his statement to create a coherent reasoning of whatever he said. You know, there's tons and tons of video of him turning around to leaders and shaking hands with nobody who's not, the people who aren't there. The leader will be on his right, he'll look to his left, or he'll be walking off the stage, or he'll be saying things that just don't make sense. And part of that is because one, he wasn't able to read the teleprompters, and two, he wasn't capable of thinking straight because of his age, in my opinion, and I'm not a doctor. So then she says, they are not even really ideas, just a series of bizarre rants, personal feuds, and outright lies. She said, he is not just unprepared. And believe me, if you listen to Trump, you'll see he's very much prepared. And he doesn't have an earpiece. He doesn't use a teleprompter. And he knows his numbers and he knows his, you know, what he's talking about. But she says that he's not prepared. She says he's temporarily unfit to hold an office that requires knowledge, stability, and immense responsibility. He is temperamentally unfit to hold an office that requires knowledge, stability, and immense responsibility. And then she says that she's worried he should not have the nuclear codes because it's very easy to imagine Donald Trump leading us into a war just because someone got under his very thin skin. Wait a second. And again, that is just somebody's opinion, right? Like I have one. However, I want you to look at the facts. Yeah. Under Donald Trump, there were no wars. He spoke to a lot of dictators, the ones that she calls his friends. He kept them very close, having intense conversations. And yet he was able to keep the peace, keep us out of war.
Yep.
So she says he shouldn't have those numbers or, you know, however a nuclear war would start, because he's so dangerous. He would become so offended at something that he would just press a button and boom, we would have a nuclear war. But yet he's the only president who was able to sit down with all these dictators and there were no wars under him. Let's talk about the Biden administration. Obviously, we've had wars happen, right?
We
He wasn't
have
able to talk.
wars going
You're right.
on
We have wars still
constant.
going on. He wasn't able to talk to Israel or
There's
or or
Israel and
or the Palestinian
Hamas.
leaders or calm down Hamas. He
Hmm.
wasn't able to create peace.
Well,
Because
what they've done, what they've done is, okay. So the war between Ukraine and uh, Russia, and the billions of dollars that he's sending over to Ukraine, constantly taking our tax dollars and sending them to Ukraine without
Israel,
our
and
permission.
let's be fair,
Um,
billions are going to certain
oh,
countries.
oh yeah, yeah, going to Israel. Here's the countries they're going to that shouldn't be getting our tax earned dollars is Ukraine. Lebanon just got a pile of money from the government here. And Lebanon, that money is going to Hezbollah. He sent billions to Iran, who is funding the war to Israel, against Israel, right? So he's sending our tax earned dollars to these radical countries who hate us. I mean,
Hate
verbally
us.
hate Americans. They hate America. So giving billions of dollars to your enemy so that they can build nuclear weapons to kill the very people who are putting money in their pocket is just that's insanity.
It's
That is insanity.
crazy.
So so I don't want to we should probably wrap up.
Yep.
I'll put these links in the bottom, or I will put them across the screen when I go to edit. And I'll get this out today so everybody can see. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell. Let me see.
We are
Here's my
going to
bell.
do some
Dingy,
gardening
dingy, dingy,
videos too. We're going
dingy,
to do
ding,
some
dingy,
videos that have
ding,
nothing to do
ding,
with
ding.
politics. Ring her bell. You
Ring
can
that
ring my
bell.
bell. But
Ring
you
my
can
bell.
ring the bell, but also, like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe.
Especially if you don't agree with us,
Yeah.
because then you
Let
should
us know your thoughts.
let us know your thoughts. As
Good
long
or
as you
bad.
keep them clean, just
Yeah.
keep them clean.
Yeah.
And you could say, I disagree with you. I'm a
Well,
Democrat. I hate everything you're saying. These are the
yeah.
reasons why.
Yeah.
That's it.
If it
It's
gets out of hand, we're gonna delete your comment.
right.
That's
Exactly.
if you can't be objective in your comments, don't comment, because we'll just remove it.
Here's the other thing. And again, it doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man. If you want a movement going and you believe in a movement, great. But you need the correct characters to endorse in those movements.
Yeah.
And if the correct characters do not exist, don't just fight, protest, go out there and voice your opinion on something you don't have the facts on, or just to support any woman.
Yeah.
It's great to support a woman, but when somebody's going to lead the country, make sure that person is the right woman.
Right.
Do not vote. And if you're afraid what your friends are going to say, and I've heard my friends say, well, I can't be friends with you. You're a Republican. That's great. The door's there, walk out. I'm good with that. I have a thick skin. You're in my life. You love me. Great. You don't love me. I don't really care.
Oh,
Walk
excuse
out.
me.
I wish you well. I'll never wish you ill. I'll never wish somebody dead. You'll never hear me wishing any harm to Harris or any of the Democratic Party. You'll hear me say I disagree with them. I don't like them as people, but I'll never hate them. I'll never want something bad to happen to them. That's the
Right.
difference between us and some Democrats. So I'll never call them an occult because they have an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have an opinion that is on either side, that is so fixated on hate,
Mm-hmm.
that's more cultish behavior. When
Yeah.
you need to prove when you need to prove to hate somebody on
Right.
the depth where you will compare them to leaders who took out millions of people,
Yeah.
that is cult-like behavior. That is trying to incite a fear in people to
That
go your
is
way. That's
inciting.
what it is.
That
You're
is
inciting fear.
inciting.
So if
You're
you incite
inciting
fear,
fear. That's not something we've been doing.
right?
So be mindful of the candidate that you are looking to vote for,
Yeah,
and we'll just keep praying.
yeah.
We'll just keep
And
praying that the right
and
one gets in.
again, if you incite fear on here, or you come out with violence or something that is totally inappropriate, we're not going to comment on you. We're just going to take you down and
Yeah.
report you. And and that's okay. Do as you please, but you'll be taken down, and we really don't care. You're not
Yeah.
hurting us. You're
No.
not insulting us. Oh, you guys are ugly. I don't care. You guys are
Yeah.
beautiful. I don't care. I'm
Here's
not
my
looking for your
saying.
compliments or your
Yeah.
dismissive comments.
Yeah.
You have to understand, Cynthia and I have been through it, so you're not hurting our feelings whatsoever. Okay,
Here's
we'll
my
take you
thing.
down.
If all you've got better to do
Yeah,
is to write your nasty comments
yeah.
thinking that you're going to make us feel bad, you're
You got the
barking up
wrong
the wrong
chicks.
tree.
You got the wrong chicks.
Yeah,
We're not
buying
the
it.
ones. We really
we
don't
we
care.
know who we are,
Yeah,
and we embrace and
yeah.
honor who we are.
But don't, like I said, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat or an independent, don't vote for a man or a woman because you want that particular sex in or that gender in or whatever. Vote for the person who will be able to talk to prove
Vote
it.
for the
First of
person who
all,
could do the
who
job.
has proven over the 4 years he was in
Yeah.
that could bring in jobs to this country before he's even president, which he did,
Mm-hmm.
will not take a paycheck, which he did, okay? Will not have any wars under his administration, which he did. So yes, he talked to
Yeah.
dangerous dictators. And
Yeah.
you know what he did? He kept us from going to war
Yeah.
because of that, because of his knowledge how to keep the peace with other people.
Yep.
And so when Hillary Clinton says he's dangerous, he's going to put us into a nuclear war if he gets unhinged, well,
Yeah.
he's already proven that he doesn't.
And look at what's already happening now.
He's already proven
Trump is not doing what's happening
what's
now.
happening now.
Trump
They
is
are.
not doing what has happened in the last 3, almost 4 years. So be mindful of that.
Secure
I've been
borders.
told, by someone that just it's so senseless it escapes my brain. So I'm as soon as I went there, it escaped my brain.
About Trump, you were told
It
something about his
it
administration.
it's okay. That's where it was. Thank you. So this person believed wholeheartedly that the country is doing great. The country's doing great. Groceries are not overpriced. Gas is not overpriced. This person is no mind, but
Yeah.
they are very stubborn in their thinking, and such a hatred, a disdain for Trump that this person decides that, oh, the country's doing great. But let me explain why this person thinks the country is great. Because this person is a millionaire. They don't have to worry about the cost of groceries. I don't even think they look at the price of groceries because they know they have the money to cover it. They
Right.
they did they played the stock market, and they did good in the stock market. Why are they doing good in the stock market? Because wars bring money. And their house has gone up 12% in value. Well, that's great. That's great for them. I'm happy they're millionaires. Whatever floats your boat, man, I'm happy for you. Go do that thing. That's what America is about. That's what makes America so great. If you want to be a millionaire, then go work your ass off and be a
Be a
millionaire,
millionaire.
right?
But don't expect to have
But
12 children and
don't
that
try to,
millionaire to support them.
yeah, don't throw your crap on me because I'm not a millionaire.
Yeah.
I know how much the prices have gone up in the stores. A gallon of milk, almost $5. A carton of eggs, $4. Bacon, it's unfathomable. Unfathomable. In my lifetime, I have never in my lifetime seen it so bad in this country as I have in these last 4
Can I
years.
just tell you, well, I went to the supermarket last week and I bought the necessities. Nothing that was extra. No extra cookies, no extra ice creams, my necessities cost me almost $300. But I went to buy a watermelon that was already chopped. I didn't look. It was just, there was a packet of watermelon. It was already chopped. And I thought, okay, you know what? I'll grab it. I just wanted it. I got up to the counter, 17 and change for, I mean, less, like a little container, like about this big,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
small little container. It wasn't even filled,
Mm-hmm.
17 and change. I put it back. I had them take it off my bill.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, that is so sad.
yeah, yeah.
And then and the other thing I think at one point, and this isn't for this show, but just to throw out there, and what Cynthia is talking about, we have to really think about the system and how it works for people. And we also have to think about how we can empower people, bring down, like Trump has already done. Historically, he has done these things. Go look at what Trump has done in his
Yeah.
administration.
Yeah.
Compare it to what's been done in this administration, and then make your choice. Because when somebody promises you something, you want to look at their patterns and what they were
Right.
able to do. Look
Right.
at the economy, look at prices with gas, look at prices with your groceries under Trump, and then look at how things are now.
Right.
Look at wars under Trump. Oh my God, they didn't exist. Look at wars under Biden, the Biden administration. Look at words like unhinged by the Democratic Party. Just because Obama and Clinton are saying it, scripted liars are scripted liars, my opinion.
Yeah.
You can't just look at the way a person speaks and if they look like extinguished. I don't really care what you look like. I want to know if you're telling me the truth. Okay. I'm interested in the mind. I can care less about your looks. Anybody. Don't care. You're cute, great, good for you. I'm glad for you.
Yeah.
Do you have a brain? That's when I'm interested in talking to you.
Right.
And you have to do your homework. Look at what the facts are under Trump and under Biden.
Yes.
Make a list, write them down. Because when you are going to vote, you want to vote for the right person, not for the movement. And you don't have to tell your friends. That's the best thing. And again, not all our shows are going to be on this. We need a break from it too.
So with that said, we're going to end this video for today. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Be blessed and stay safe out there.
Yeah.
And we'll talk again soon.
Love you guys.
Love you. And where's the end? Okay. Bye for now.